What's up, guys? It's JQ, back with another episode of Delusional Women on Instagram. Today we're going to check out a post by a girl who's talking about her ex and how he was a nice guy and how that just won't work for her and now she deserves something even better. And we're going to examine some of her language and some of the psychology principles that are at play here so that you can get a better idea. If you're new here, I'm JQ. I help you understand the female brain and I help men get more of what you want in dating and in life. Let's take a look at the video.
I won't settle for a nice guy. And by nice guy, I don't mean like incel that calls himself nice. I mean someone you genuinely could have feelings for that doesn't quite do it for you in some way. But
I want to just decode a little bit what she said and add value. She actually gave a fairly good explanation. What does a nice guy mean? Somebody that just doesn't quite do it for you. So once again, if you need more evidence of why you don't want to be nice, the opposite of nice in this context is she means exciting. So she wants somebody exciting, and her last boyfriend was a little bit too boring, a little too nice.
they treat you really, really well. Someone like my ex. Yes, this turd was a nice guy. He treated me really, really well. I saw the discrepancies.
Isn't that interesting, right? In the same sentence, she says that this guy treated her really, really well, and then she calls him a turd. Well, that's pretty rude. And this girl has a fairly large social media presence, so I imagine that there's a lot of people that know her and know who her ex-boyfriend is. So I think that's, pretty rude and off-putting of her to speak like that about her ex.
From the beginning, there were things I wanted in a partner that he did not have. He was aware of this, and he made up for it by loving the fuck out of me.
And by things she wanted in a partner, she means like maybe he wasn't good looking enough, maybe he wasn't exciting enough, maybe he wasn't enough of a bad boy. She wanted somebody more exciting than her nice guy boyfriend who treated her really well. Interesting, right?
He really did. I was his dream girl. He was devoted to me. And truly, none of that was an act. It was devastatingly real. So eventually I said, you know what? I love him. He's not everything, but yes, let's do it. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to settle for the good guy that loves you. But
This is what I want to really point out is that she, even looking back at the situation, she feels as if she settled for her ex-boyfriend. And I think that's just such an interesting choice of language. And it really points out the warped nature of where a lot of women are and how they view themselves and how they view their dating potential. This girl is, I would say, pretty average. She's average to cute, and she should similarly be dating men who are average to cute and if she can find an average guy who treats her really well, you would think that she would be pretty happy with that. But instead, she views it like she's settling. Oh, ma'am, I've got news for you. It's not settling to date someone who's at a similar level as you. This guy treated her really well. He was a normal guy. He maybe wasn't the Gigachad that she was hoping, but that's not realistic for someone like her. It's not realistic that she's going to find a guy who is at the absolute top of the appearance spectrum and makes the most money and is the most exciting, because she's not the type of girl who's going to attract that type of guy. So let's hear a little bit more.
3 years later, all of the qualities that made me his manic pixie dream girl lost their sparkle and just became differences. Like, I'm just speculating because I still haven't gotten an explanation, but I think he fell out of love with me because at the end of the day, I was just too much for him.
So isn't that interesting? So after going and saying that she was above him and she had to settle for him, it turns out that actually he was the one to dump her and leave the relationship. So what I get out of this is just a giant cope on her part. And because he left the relationship and she has a social media platform, now she's going to go around and slam him and say that she was settling for him, okay? When really they were probably a good match. And it actually sounds like there were some things about her that were annoying that he eventually couldn't deal with. So when a girl says she's too much for a guy, or when she hears that as a part of feedback, that often means that she's difficult and not super enjoyable and pleasant and peaceful to be around.
In the beginning, my energy and creativity and charisma was why he fell so hard for me. I did the math on that difference and decided it was okay with me before we ever got serious, because I was the one who was settling. That difference was a positive to him, and it didn't occur to him that later it could become a negative.
Can you hear how egotistical and narcissistic this girl is? This entire time that she was in a relationship with this guy, she's basically saying, when I met him, I knew that he was beneath me, but I decided to take that risk anyways and date this guy who wasn't up to my level, who wasn't up to my standard. And boy, what a mistake that was, because, now we get further along and he ended up breaking up with me, and you can't make this stuff up.
Is not a substitute for full equal compatibility. Someone may think they're totally in love with me and that they'll give me anything and they'll do anything for me. They may really think that, but you can't win me. I'm not a prize. Maybe they don't have the relationship experience to know how that may fade and change. I don't know. And if I'm gonna get my heart broken again, may as well get it broken by someone who I did not have to fucking settle for in the first place.
Just wow. So the lengths that she's going to kind of slam this guy in retrospect, this girl cannot handle the fact that she was broken up with. And instead of just admitting that maybe there are some things about her that could have been affecting the relationship and were not ideal and that could have contributed to his wanting to leave the relationship, instead she has reimagined the whole situation and the entire thing is his fault. And it's actually the only thing that she did wrong was getting together with a guy who wasn't good enough for her in the first place. So now instead, she's going to go and look for her own Gigachad to be with instead. But I have news for her. She's not going to get one of those. Now, what can be confusing for girls like this is that at her level of attractiveness, which is average to cute, there are high-level guys who would hang out with a girl like this, hook up with her, maybe hang out for a weekend, spend a bit of time. But they are not going to get into a serious relationship with a girl like this who is only average to cute and is a lot to handle and is difficult to be around. They're just not. But that gives her the illusion that she has access to this type of men and that she could get into a relationship with one of them. And that's just simply not the case. So the takeaway from this, guys, is that it's so important when you're vetting women and you're getting together with a new woman that you're looking for women who have just genuine interest in you and they just absolutely are crazy about you. You want to see that they feel like you are the best option that they have available. You never want to enter into a situation like this where the girl is like thinks that she could do better and she's just kind of settling, because you're setting yourself up for failure. No matter what you do, she's either going to be looking at the situation and saying, I could do better, and she's going to build up this resentment, or she's going to leave, or she's going to cheat. So don't ever enter yourself into a situation like this. Avoid this type of woman. Instead, look for a woman who gives you genuine signals that she is excited to be with you, that she's proud to be with you, that feels good, and you'll know that by how she treats you. All right, guys, that's what I have for you on this one. If you want to supercharge this area of your life, make sure you never get into difficult situations like this, and instead become the type of man who attracts and keeps beautiful, attractive, lovely women that you're excited to be around. Book a call with me to talk about our one-on-one coaching program and whether that's right for you. In addition, I also have a completely free newsletter. The link for both of those things is below in the description. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.